Hey there, and welcome back to another video. Sight reading. If you've ever read a piece of music, the first time you looked at it, you were sight reading. Basically, sight reading is playing a piece of music for the first time, and you're reading what's on the page, and you have to actually play what's there. Now, there's different versions of sight reading. Sure, you could be looking at a set of chord changes to improvise over them. That'd be sight reading as well. But in this video, I'm going to talk about my simple 5-step process to sight read written music. I know that if you go through this process and you stick with it when you're practicing a new piece of music, you're not only going to be able to read that piece of music quicker than other ways you've tried before, but you're going to learn it even better as well. Really quick before I get into the sight reading process, if you're watching this video the day it comes out, Friday, August 9th, this is the last day to jump into my Saxophone Success community and get a free 30-day trial. If you're a saxophonist who wants a community of saxophonists to learn from and get masterclasses, monthly songs of the month, challenges, live Q&As, and so much more from me, I highly encourage you checking out the Saxophone Success community. Like I said, you get a 30-day free trial, all access free trial. Not just part of it. You get to do everything. You get to watch the masterclasses, all the songs of the month. You can participate in live Q&A, the community, everything. And if you don't like it within 30 days, you don't have to pay a single penny. All you have to do is go to davepollack.com/SSC. I'll also put the link to that at the top of the description down below and in the pinned comment. Like I said, though, today is August 9th, and it's the last day to jump in, so if you're watching this afterwards or you wait too long, sorry, the doors will be closed. Without any further ado, let's jump into my simple 5-step sight reading process. Okay, the first step in my sight reading process is you're actually just going to do an overview of the piece of music. So the piece that I'm going to be using today is 8 measures here. It's from a big band chart. It might be a little obscure if you're a saxophonist, but I will explain what it is at the end. So it's only 8 measures here, and I'm going to go through the process. So like I said, you want to just kind of scan the piece of music. This is scanning for roadmap. So are there any repeats? Are there DSs, DC? What's the time signature? What's the key signature? Things like that. Look all the way through. And also, I want you to look for, are there any weird notes? When I say weird, I mean like double flats, double sharps. Are there any really high notes, really low notes? Are there E sharps and F flats? Something like that. Anything that kind of would stick out to you that's not, a normal thing. So for this, it's not written here because, like I said, this is a piece of big band chart, but it's 4/4. It's medium upswing. So we have 2 flats in the key signature there. And so we know it's B flat major or G minor, but for all intents and purposes, when you're sight reading, the key doesn't matter whether it's G minor or B flat. It's 2 flats. So I like thinking in major, so I'm going to think B flat major. I'm going to play this as written for alto, by the way. Another thing to look for is rhythm. Are there any triplets? Are there any ties? 16th notes, syncopation, stuff like that. You just want to do an overview before you play anything so that you'll give yourself the best chance of success. The whole process here is to get you to not only learn it quicker, but learn it correctly. Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. So you want to eliminate all the wrong run-throughs if you can. You don't want to just play it wrong, mess up, do it again. Play it wrong, mess up. All you're doing is teaching yourself the incorrect finger pattern, incorrect note, incorrect rhythm, whatever. So we're going to go through this process, and I highly encourage you to do this. And I promise by the time you go to play it, you're going to basically play it right the first try. We know it's 2 flats. We know it's swing. We have some ties here. We have some triplets. Looking through, nothing too high, nothing too low, some articulations. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. So now let's go to step 2. Step 2 is you're going to clap the rhythms. We're not focused on notes. We're not focused on the instrument. We're not focused on anything else. All we're doing is clapping the rhythms. Whenever you do this, starting at step 2, I want you to use a metronome. A metronome isn't there to keep you in time. It's not to do that. It's to help you decide and understand when you're out of time. It's not like bumpers when you're bowling, right? It's because you want to know where the time is. So when you're subdividing yourself, whether it's triplets, eighth notes, whatever, you could stay perfectly within that beat. And then if you're supposed to be playing on a downbeat and you hear the click and you play after, you're out somewhere so you can correct it. What I'm going to do is play this at a slow tempo, and I'm going to put a metronome on, and I'm going to clap through all the rhythms for these 8 measures. And once again, this is supposed to be medium to upswing, but I'm going to be doing it a little slower here because practice makes permanent. It's much better to get it correctly slower than you speed it up versus trying it faster and messing up. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you feel like you can get it correct, what I would do is start speeding it up before you move on to the next step. You want to feel comfortable within this step before you move on and start getting closer to putting it on the instrument. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what I want you to do. If you can't do it at this slow tempo, figure out why you can't do it. Was it a specific measure? Was it a specific rhythm? Is the overall tempo too fast? Figure out what the issue is and isolate it. If you know it's just one rhythm of triplets, isolate that one measure, get it correct, then go back and put it all together. Now for step 3, you're going to sing. Before you freak out, no, you don't have to be a good singer, as I'll demonstrate in a second. No, you don't even have to actually sing the pitches that are there. And you actually don't even have to sing. You can hum, you can whistle. The idea here is we are vocalizing what we're seeing. I like to tell people it's better to internalize music than memorize it. Memorize is you just see it and kind of play it. Internalizing it is going to help you then perform it better, whether you're clapping, singing, humming, playing it on the instrument, whatever. So what we're going to do here is clap again while we're kind of vocalizing what we see on the page. So we're going to be clapping the same rhythms, singing the same rhythms, but there are some other elements of music that we're going to add into it now. We're going to add dynamics and articulation. So if we see short notes, staccatos, marcatos, we're going to use a shorter syllable. I like to use dots, dits, and dot. I like to use da syllable. If it says loud, we're going to sing a little louder. If it says soft, we're going to sing softer. This section is only loud, so we're going to kind of keep it one dynamic level, but here we go. And like I said, you don't have to sing the right pitches because we're not worried about notes right now. All we're worried about is vocalizing the dynamics, the articulations, and the rhythms. Here we go. I'm going to keep it at the same tempo I did for just the clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 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 dot d dot dot do 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 da dot do li da dee da dot. Same thing as the previous step. Start slower. Once you feel comfortable with it, speed it up incrementally until you get it roughly to about the tempo that you're going to perform it at. All right, for step 4, you're going to grab your instrument, but we're actually not going to play yet. What we're now going to do is sing or vocalize, hum, whistle, whatever, those rhythms again, but now you're going to finger along on your instrument or move slide positions or whatever instrument you play. What we're doing here is we're still internalizing and vocalizing what's on the page, but now we're connecting it to the instrument, but we're not worried about the actual sound of the instrument. We're not worried about our embouchure, our air, all that other stuff. We're just worried about the fingering for now. What this is going to do is really help us, once again, get the sound and the music out from us now to the instrument, but not through the instrument quite yet. That's going to be the next step. So we're internalizing it, we're humming it, we're vocalizing it, and now we're adding these fingerings to it to hopefully then bridge the gap between this and playing. So here we go. And I am going to speed the tempo up just a bit. I'm going to put it at 100 beats a minute now. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 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 dot d dot dot d d d d d d d d dot dot do li da d dot dot. I was not obviously singing the pitches there. If you have perfect pitch or you want to give yourself a starting pitch and you want to try to sing the right pitches, that's fine. The point is not that you're going to sing it well, unless you're a vocalist, in which case I can't help you. But for a wind instrument like this, like a saxophone, trumpet, trombone, flute, whatever, you're going to be focused on internalizing the dynamics, the articulations, all those non-note musical elements. But then the notes now come in here in step 4 when we talk about fingering along on the instrument. Once you're able to do that, now it's finally time to play. So for step 5, yes, we're now going to play it on the instrument. By this point, if you go through this process and not skip any steps, you should feel pretty confident about how this is going to sound the first time. One of the other things that's great about this process is you should hopefully be playing it right the first time you actually go to play it. So you don't develop bad habits by playing it wrong over and over again and correcting on the instrument. I'd rather have you correct it while you're clapping or humming or something. And then by the time you get it to the instrument, you already feel super confident with what you're going to play. So here we go. Now I'm going to play this line with the metronome, and I'm going to speed it up a little more to about 120 beats per minute. And there you have it, the simple 5-step sight reading process. Please don't skip any steps. The point of the process is that it works in conjunction with the step before it. So you might say to yourself, yeah, I look through the chart and I don't feel like just clapping the rhythms, I'm gonna clap and sing. Well, the point is you're not worried about the articulations and the dynamics and vocalizing it. We're only worried about rhythms. So if you skip that step, you're going to be missing a little bit, so on and so forth. Please go through all the steps. I know it's going to be beneficial for you. By the way, do you know what this excerpt was from? This is actually the Thad Jones tune Interloper, one of the great big band tunes of all time, and that is the 4th trumpet part. That's why in the beginning I said if you're a saxophone player, it might not look right because it was not a saxophone part. That's the 4th trumpet part. I figured I'd pick something different, especially one that's not specifically written for saxophone, to show you this process can work perfectly fine no matter what you're reading. When you give this a try, please come back to this video, comment, and let me know how it worked out for you. I know how it's going to work out, but I want to hear it from you, and I think a lot of other people would like to hear from you as well after you go through it. Don't forget, if you're watching this the day it comes out, Friday, August 9th, to check out the Saxophone Success community, davepollack.com/SSC. If you're a saxophone player, it's an amazing community that I know you're going to love being a part of. And hey, you get a 30-day free trial to check it out for yourself. And then after 29 days, if you don't like it, you just get out of there and not have to owe a single thing. If you're not a saxophone player and you just want to get better at jazz improvisation, I have stuff for you too. My completely free masterclass called The Best Way to Create Melodic Solos. You can check that out in the link in the description down below as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.